You guys are very interested in REITs, real estate investment trusts. And rightfully so, because they are awesome if you want to invest in real estate but don't have the money to buy a property on your own. We discussed that in this video. The issue is that Germany took the very cool concept of REITs from the US, Germanized it with a lot of unnecessary regulations to make it in the process. Let's learn more about REITs in Germany in this GermanReal.Estate FAQ. I'm not gonna waste our time by explaining the concept of German REITs as we did in the other video. Check that out with a link in the description if you're interested. Today, I want to focus on the rules for REITs in Germany that are in the Gesetz über deutsche Immobilienaktiengesellschaften mit börsennotierten Anteilen. Basically the German REIT law that regulates REITs to the absolute maximum. And that is also the reason why REITs in Germany are not as great as they are in the US, because it is very tough for them to make money with all this regulation. German REIT law demands that REITs in Germany have to be publicly traded companies. Other countries allow public and private REITs, Germany doesn't, which is a huge shame because there's usually one big reason why companies go public: to get money from investors. But you don't need to go public for that. Going public here in Germany takes ages, which costs a lot of money. You need a supervisory board, which costs a lot of money, stock exchange admission, roadshow, annual shareholder meetings, investor relation departments. Who do you think pays for all of this? It's you investors, of course. According to Professor Wegmann, the process of going public alone, not all the running costs we just talked about, only the process of going public costs between 6% to 12% in fees. Which means we are talking about millions of euros that are not in your investor's pocket. Our real estate security tokens are issued in a private process, which costs not even 10,000 euros. Less costs for us means a higher return for you guys. And that's just reason one why I'm convinced that the real estate security tokens are a better investment than REITs. If a REIT invests in the same property as we do, they have to spend millions and we only have to spend a couple of thousand euros. What's more beneficial for investors? So check out our website GermanReal.Estate if you want to see what investments are currently available on our marketplace. Second, what separates real estate from all other investments out there and makes it super profitable? Leverage. Let's be real here. If mortgages wouldn't exist, nobody could afford to buy a property in the first place, and real estate would be a pretty bad investment. But leverage turns good deals into great deals. Let's imagine you buy a property for 100k and you only cover the closing costs of around 10%, no down payment. If the property rises in value by just 10%, you basically doubled your money. Well, a shame German REIT law allows REITs to leverage 45% only. The other 55% have to be equity. And equity, of course, is the money from the people investing in the REIT. Ask yourself, would you invest in real estate if the bank demanded a 55% down payment from you? I wouldn't, because it makes the entire business case pretty bad from a return on investment perspective. And that's another reason why real estate security tokens are the superior product. We can leverage at whatever level we want. Whatever makes the most sense to maximize returns for investors. Leveraged or not, REITs invest in properties. But German REIT law has restrictions, of course. When it comes to plots, infrastructure, commercial properties, REITs can invest in basically whatever they want. But when it comes to residential properties, the heart of real estate investments, REITs are only allowed to invest in properties that have been built after 2007. Why is that? The government thinks that rents in Germany would increase even more if REITs would be allowed to invest in older properties. Now, we can make an entire video why that may be a wrong assumption from the government, but the point is, if REITs don't follow these rules in the German REIT law, they will lose their REIT status. And if you actually check when the majority of properties in Germany was built, it means that German REITs are not even allowed to invest in 10% of the properties in Germany. Maybe 7 or 8%, only a tiny fraction of the German real estate market. And that's again why real estate security tokens are better. Nobody from the government gives a in what type of property we are investing in. It just has to make sense for investors. Speaking about making sense, many of you guys are interested in fix and flip, right? You can buy a crappy shack in a great location, renovate it and sell it again at a higher price, or rent it out afterwards. We are currently working on a fix and flip real estate security token that would give investors a 7% fixed interest rate plus a 7.5% profit share when the property is being sold after the renovation. A shame again that REITs in Germany are not allowed to do this. REITs have to focus on passive real estate management only. They are not allowed to trade properties. German REITs can shift their portfolio only once every 10 years. If they buy and sell more often, they lose their REIT status again. The focus on passive real estate management for German REITs also excludes great opportunities to generate a return for investors. We just talked about buying and selling properties. That's not allowed. In other countries, you have mortgage REITs that earn money from interest. That's not really allowed here in Germany either. German REIT law demands that at least 75% of the earnings and of the assets must come from real estate directly. And earning interest from giving out mortgages is not a direct real estate activity according to German REIT law. It is only a real estate related activity, which is a huge shame again, because that would be a really good opportunity to make money for investors with the increased interest rates that we're currently having. I don't want to REITs. They're a great way to invest in real estate with very little money, at least in other countries. Here in Germany, the government regulated REITs so much that it's almost impossible for them to make a profit. Here's the proof. While property prices in Germany went up by about 12% per year over the last years, the German REIT index is down by minus 17% since its inception more than 15 years ago. How is that even possible? The REIT index should have tripled or doubled at the very least. But no, all German REITs did is to lose money for investors. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why real estate security tokens are better than REITs.